I was an angel, but they made me leave.
On October 14th, Ethel Cain announced her single Punish, released November 1st. It is the lead single off her new project, which I don't think I'm allowed to say this early on in this video. It's set to release on January 8th. My name is Neck, and I have finally returned for a sequel to my original Ethel Cain video, although it's not the sequel I had originally planned. Sorry about that. Over a year has passed since that first video. That video's reached over 300,000 views, which is crazy to me, but thank you all for enjoying it so much. This is going to be a much shorter video, and it's going to be pretty different, but it should get you caught up on Ethel Cain. I won't go too in-depth about her single Punish, since the full project isn't out yet, and I want to evaluate it in the context of the full album. Hayden took a hiatus from Tumblr following various events, typical Tumblr activities. There was rampant transphobia directed at her, an influx of new fans from different platforms, and just an overall uneasy feeling. Months later, she returned and soon after announced her new album, Perverts. Hayden's been busy over the last year, playing many festivals and posting regularly on her YouTube channel. My top picks for her YouTube videos are my experiences with the paranormal, the otherworldly, and the generally bothersome, linked in the description as well as in the card above. Now I want to talk specifically about her Tumblr asks. She regularly answers them, and there are a few themes running through a lot of them. A lot of them deal with perverts, but a lot of them also deal with it. What is it? In order to explain this, I will read you every ask relating to it. This will take up the majority of this video. Enjoy. What's happening to everybody? It, unfortunately. Is it also happening to Squitch Janky Chichin? No, she's just a baby with no brain, so it couldn't possibly. It's not happening to me. Any advice? Oh, trust me, it is. Just listen closely. Does it ever stop happening? Yes, you will die someday. How does one know if it's happening to them? You may feel a shudder in your muscles, and you may hear a ringing of bells. Well, I don't feel or hear all that rah-rah, so it's actually not happening to me. Heart. You fool. I can't relate to these other questions. It's truly been happening to me my whole life. Rejoice, sister, or brother, or they, I don't know. That is the gift. What do I do if I hear it and it is overbearingly loud? Let it sing. Is it happening to you? Yes, and it hurts. Where does it happen? It happens in the front of your face and up through your spine and radiates through your shoulders. It happens in your pelvis and down through your thighs to your calves. It happens on a dark road when you're alone, and it happens on a bridge in the rain. It happens when everything is impossibly still inside your room. It happens when you're screaming and when you're so happy you almost throw up. It happens to you where you need it to. What are the consequences of it happening to all of us? It, in and of itself, is the consequence of living. How long has it been happening to you? Consciously? Probably about 7 to 8 years. Will we reach it one day? It will let you near, but it won't let you stay. That's the part I'm not sure how to reconcile with yet. If it stops, can you get it back? It will always stop, and you'll have to seek it out and make the journey again and again, however many times you like. But again, there are consequences, and you will have to accept them every time. What happens if it lets you reach it? It will always let you reach it. If you can make it that far, just take it in. You won't be there for long, not without consequences. Do some seek it out more than others? If so, how? It depends on how close you're willing to go. It depends on how much it means to you. Is it supposed to hurt when it happens? It could, I suppose. Personally, I'm very afraid of it, but I still love it. I brave it just as much as I enjoy it. Should we be afraid of it? Or should we just accept its existence and live with it? No, you could go your whole life without ever experiencing it once. But don't you want to know? Why does it happen? Because we were born flung from it, and we spend our entire life trying to crawl back. Can it reject you? No. You can easily get lost on the way there, but it would never shut you out. I'm not going to read this last one out for you, but it's worth taking a look at. I'll link it in the description. Does that answer your question? Yeah, me neither. But it is happening to everyone. It is mysterious. It happens to everything always, but you have to chase it. It is only escapable by death, yet it will always stop and you must always seek it out again. It is happening to everyone, yet you can go your whole life without experiencing it. Is this poetic or just Hayden losing the plot a little? I don't know, but it's interesting to ponder. It kind of seems like it is a metaphor for the idea of the existence of God. I could be looking too deeply into this though. The idea of bells ringing, how it will always let you reach it, but there will be consequences. Some people seek it more out than others. The idea of fearing it, but loving it at the same time. Some people going their entire existences without ever experiencing it. Why does it happen? Because we were born flung from it, and we spend our entire life trying to crawl back. God drove Adam and Eve out of the Garden of Eden in Genesis, separating them from him. Can it reject you? No. You can always get lost on the way there, but it would never shut you out. Psalm 94:14 says, "For the Lord will not reject his people. He will never forsake his inheritance." The more I think about it, the more like God it sounds. Something to think about, although I could be going too deeply into this, as I said before. Now, continuing on with our Tumblr theme, here's a quick rundown relating to the album and singles itself. This album is not part of the Ethel Cain lore. This is a separate project. It's an hour and a half long, 10 songs. It has full instrumental tracks like the Ashmedi, I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, project, or Televangelism in August Underground off of Preacher's Daughter. Anyway, pivoting away from that completely, here are 4 asks that made me laugh. Why don't you like the ocean? Evil. Have you gone dove hunting? Yes, when I was a really young kid, my dad would take me dove hunting with him all the time, and when our dog would bring the doves back to the truck, I would sit in the bed and play with them, and I couldn't wrap my head around the fact that they were unalive for real. I thought that if I played with them and pet them long enough, they would wake up. Favorite song from VeggieTales? Barbara Manatee.
Barbara Manatee, you are the one for me.
Or Meet Me in St. Louis song. I sing both of them often. Do you still have your appendix? Yes, and you can have it. In a now deleted Tumblr post, Hayden had some strong words to say relating to the recent election in the United States. In summary, she highlights a deep frustration with the inequality, hate, and separation in American society. She shows a distaste for the general contempt and growing extremism, especially among white men who want power and minorities themselves who punch sideways. In the end, she hopes that people who voted for Trump are surrounded in guilt, and for everyone to do what they can in their personal life, because that might be all that we can do. Now, this was a different kind of video, more like a compilation of different media instead of me explaining everything. However, a video like that will be coming out on this channel within the next year. It'll be completely non-Ethel Cain related. Just as dark though. You'll enjoy it probably. It will also be very long. The script is already twice the length of the original Ethel Cain video, and I'm not even halfway done. It'll be exciting. Of course, once the full album for Perverts is released, I'll make another video explaining every song. As I'm recording this, that comes out in 7 days, so that should be fun. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I will see you next time. Bye!